Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Fitness Simplified podcast. We are stoked to have you join us on your journey to better health and fitness. If you have any questions, suggestions for future topics, or just want to chat, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at Brooke_Elysian and Facebook linked in the show notes, or via our website, ElysianWomen'sWellness.com. If you enjoyed what you heard today, we would be thrilled if you could take a half second to leave us a 5-star rating and review. Not only will you be helping others find our show, but you'll also be entered into our monthly $100 giveaway for new reviews. If there was something you heard that was helpful or impactful, please screenshot it, tag me, and share what it was so that we can bring you more. Plus, you'll be entered into our monthly Elysian Recharge post-workout giveaway. New episodes drop every Monday, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. Thanks for listening. The content provided in this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health providers with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard on this podcast. Any information provided about nutrition, supplements, or fitness is based on personal experience and should be discussed with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet or lifestyle. Remember, your health and well-being are unique to you. What works for one person may not work for another, so always consult with your medical professional to determine what is best for you. I have to start with something today that has been on my mind lately that I am seeing so much, and I'm just going to be real honest. If you have ever been in or asked a health question in a generic Facebook group, especially maybe a mom's group or some sort of health and fitness group, you have probably seen some really terrible advice, whether you knew it or not. Someone asks how to lose weight and suddenly 100 randoms are recommending celery juice cleanses, 1,200 calorie starvation diets, or workouts that, can tone up your love handles in just 10 minutes a day. And I can't even get started on the supplement recommendations from people with zero qualifications, which is exactly why I created our Women's Fitness Simplified Facebook group. It's a place where you can get real science-backed professional guidance on everything from fat loss and metabolism to your hormones and strength training without the nonsense. So we have in-depth trainings. We answer all of your questions, health and fitness questions, and we're providing support from trained professionals, including myself, who actually know what they're talking about, and we have science to back this up. So if you are tired of the confusion, you just want clear, sustainable, direct solutions, make sure you come join us over there. I will link it in the show notes. They are also getting a sneak preview of the podcast coming out. I'm starting to record live in the group, so you get a little sneak preview there on what is upcoming. You're the first to see it. So now let's dive into today's episode. So as most of you know, that while perimenopause is natural, it's a season of massive change in the body and symptoms that come with it, like hot flashes, mood swings, fatigue, right? Those can all leave you feeling anything but balanced. And so this is why in this episode, I am diving into a really often overlooked nutritional tool for hormone support, and that is phytoestrogens. You might have heard about these compounds before. They are plant-based compounds, but I'm going to go into exactly what they are, how they can really help with all the ups and downs of perimenopause, and more importantly, how you can start incorporating them into your diet. Plus, we're going to talk about some common misconceptions, considerations about soy, so that you can feel really confident going into this. So grab your favorite tea, settle in, and let's talk about how these plants can be really powerful support for your body through this season of change. First off, estrogens are completely natural. They are plant-based compounds that have the fascinating ability to mimic or what's called modulate or regulate essentially estrogen in the body. So you can think of them essentially as nature's way of supporting hormone balance, especially during times when estrogen levels are fluctuating like crazy, like during perimenopause. What makes these phytoestrogens so amazing and special is how they interact with your estrogen receptors. They actually bind to the same receptors that your body's own estrogen uses, but they are way more gentle. This means that when your estrogen levels are low, phytoestrogens give you a little boost. And on the flip side, when your estrogen levels are too high, they can actually help balance things out by blocking the stronger estrogen, the true hormone, from binding into those receptors. Estrogen, if you don't already know, I'm about to do a whole podcast on it, but it is a powerhouse of a hormone, and it plays a role in almost every system in the body. There are estrogen receptors literally everywhere, from your muscle to your bones, even your brain. And that's why the decline of it in the body during perimenopause is so impactful. But phytoestrogens essentially help to smooth out some of these, roller coaster highs and lows that make perimenopause feel so chaotic. One of the main benefits is hot flash reduction. And that is a huge complaint. I think it's the number 2 complaint in perimenopause. And a 2014 meta-analysis concluded that phytoestrogens appear to reduce the frequency of hot flashes in menopausal women without any serious side effects, which can't necessarily be said for HRT or BHRT, which I have a whole podcast on if you want more on. But supporting hormonal balance is, like I said, just one of the many benefits of incorporating these kinds of foods into your diet. Another one is a systematic review of 23 randomized controlled trials. Those are, some of the best studies that can be done, concluded that phytoestrogens also likely have beneficial effects on bone health in menopausal women, which, if you were not already aware, declining estrogen levels accelerate bone loss, which increases your risk of osteoporosis and fractures, breaks, right, and everything that comes along with that as we age. Reduced movement, right, more stress on the body. And so phytoestrogens can help slow this process down by interacting with the estrogen receptors in bone tissue. Yet another benefit is due to the estrogenic effects of phytonutrients. The benefits include improved heart health. So cardiovascular risks increase during perimenopause, again, due to the decline of estrogen. And phytoestrogens have been linked to improved cholesterol levels and even, in turn, reduced risk of heart issues. Estrogen also supports skin elasticity and hair health. So estrogen effects of phytoestrogens have been shown to maintain collagen production in skin, elasticity, partially through reducing reactive oxygen species or oxidative stress. So these compounds have a ton of amazing benefits. Hopefully, I've convinced you to keep listening to find out more where you can get them. So there are 3 main types of phytoestrogens, and they're found in different foods. Some of them overlap, but the first is isoflavones. So these are probably the most well-known type of phytoestrogens. They're really high in soy products like tofu, tempeh, edamame, soy milk. Isoflavones are really powerful when it comes to supporting, again, that bone health, heart health, and those pesky hot flashes. They are also in other legumes, though, like chickpeas, lentils, in smaller amounts. The second type are called lignans, and these are, again, good source of phytoestrogens. They are highest in flax seeds and sesame seeds, but smaller amounts in pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and even whole grains like oats, barley, rye. Flax seeds specifically are really powerful because they contain the highest amount of lignans and phytoestrogens, but they also have omega-3s and fiber, which helps support your digestion, helps detoxification, along with reducing inflammation. So adding just a tablespoon of whole flax seeds to your smoothie, oatmeal, ground flax seeds in your yogurt, those are really easy ways to get a dose of these, and generally recommend 1 to 2 tablespoons per day for women who are trying to support their hormonal health. The last one is kumastans, and these are a little less talked about, but really still beneficial. They are found in sprouted beans like mung beans, alfalfa. Sprouts are a really great way to add some variety, flavor to your meals while getting some of the benefits of its nutrients. Also includes fiber. And so the best part about eating these things is you're not only providing your body with, so many great micronutrients, but also giving your body hormone support and support to stay balanced. And contrary to some past thoughts on phytoestrogens, really more recent studies have shown that phytoestrogens actually don't overwhelm your system.
They're not going to cause high estrogen. Instead, they're really working in collaboration with it, which makes them a super good tool for those of you navigating perimenopause. As a bit more of a comprehensive list, here are the foods highest in phytoestrogen. So like I said, the highest is flax seeds, followed by soy or edamame. And that includes, soy products like tempeh, tofu, things like that. Next up is going to be dried fruits like prunes and dates, and then some stone fruits, so apricots, peaches, and then garlic, strawberries, blackberries, along with those sprouts and the seeds are going to be some of the best foods to start incorporating into your daily diet in order to get the most benefits out of these things. That being said, if you are eating these foods regularly and maybe you need more support, phytoestrogen supplements can actually be a really helpful tool for that extra boost. So when, again, your dietary changes maybe aren't enough, you're not seeing or getting enough of the changes, it can take up to 4 to 8 weeks, so keep that in mind. But if you are still struggling with the hot flashes, night sweats, even mood swings, then supplements can potentially provide some extra support. When it comes to supplements, there are some different forms. Again, it comes with the 3 different components. Some are a blend, but the isoflavone supplements, those are going to be derived from soy or even red clover. They are pretty well studied for their potential to reduce hot flashes and even support bone density. And then the lignin supplements, again, come from flax seeds. That is the largest source of that. This is also going to be beneficial for hormone balance and then that cardiovascular benefit. And then there's some herbal blends. So black cohosh, dong quai, even alfalfa are some of the most common herbal phytoestrogen blends that come in supplements designed to support hormonal changes and hormonal balance. So those can be really, really powerful, again, for that reason. The other time that supplements can be beneficial or maybe even needed despite incorporating foods into your daily diet can be if, of course, you have restrictions on your intake, if you have soy allergies, gluten intolerance, things like that. The herbal blends may be more beneficial. And then, of course, if testing indicated, if we do some testing and, it shows us that you have some pretty significant estrogen imbalance, then that really targeted phytoestrogen supplement can help in a little more strategic and pinpointed way. So that would be kind of the time to know that you can go into that. The next thing I want to discuss is some of the concerns when it comes to soy. And so while soy is one of the most well-known sources of phytoestrogens, one of the most common, it, like I said, comes with some concerns, specifically when it comes to cancer, thyroid health, GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. Here is really what you need to know. We did think at one time that soy caused breast cancer because of these estrogenic effects. So people who had maybe hormone-related cancers were kind of scared away from it. Of course, always talk to your doctor. But we actually have some really powerful data against that at this point. And that is, the studies that we have now actually support the fact that lifelong diets high in soy actually reduce the risk of cancer overall, not only just breast cancer, but overall incidence of cancer. And so it's really important to distinguish between phytoestrogens and the body's own estrogen. The cool thing about phytoestrogens is that it can have, like I said, estrogenic and anti-estrogenic effect depending on the context and really what your body needs. So it does not increase estrogen levels in the body, nor would they lead to increased estrogen levels on testing or anything like that. When it comes to the thyroid, so soy has a compound in it called goitrogens, which can potentially interfere with thyroid function, especially in people who already have existing hypothyroidism or iodine deficiencies. And this is really the key. So the concern is that soy could potentially reduce thyroid hormone production by interfering with iodine absorption, which is vital to proper thyroid function. However, what we know is that the impact of soy on thyroid health seems to be dose dependent, meaning that just a serving once or even twice a week is really unlikely to cause issues for most people while still being beneficial. And studies also tell us that soy isoflavones do not cause hypothyroidism in people with adequate iodine intake and levels. So if you have known hypothyroidism, it is going to be best to only eat soy once or twice a month, if at all, if you choose to, and really make sure that you are getting enough iodine from foods like seaweed, fish, or supplementation if needed. For anyone on thyroid medications, such as levothyroxine, which is really, really common, we know that soy can reduce the absorption rate of the medication. So it is recommended to take your medication at least 4 hours apart from consuming soy-based foods or supplements. The next issue that we have with soy potentially or concern is with GMO soy and pesticides, which I think is a pretty big concern. Over 90% of the soy grown in the US is genetically modified, and a big concern with GMO crops is the amount of pesticides that they use, largely glyphosate, which has been classified as a probable carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Glyphosate is a known endocrine disruptor, which impacts your hormone production, gut health, all of which can then contribute to inflammation, oxidative stress, which are already increased in perimenopause. So the best thing that you can do to minimize your exposure to pesticides and ensure you're getting the most beneficial form of soy is to make sure that you're choosing organic, non-GMO soy products, again, like organic tofu, tempeh, and miso, and going for the fermented soy foods, which is going to improve your digestion, the nutrient absorption, while reducing some of those potentially negative effects. And then, of course, if you are using soy-based supplements, make sure that they're coming from a high-quality, reputable, third-party tested source that is prioritizing clean ingredients. The next part of this I have to talk about because everyone wants the magic pill. What's the one thing I can do to fix it all? Well, while phytoestrogens can be really powerful and valuable tool in supporting your hormonal balance, reducing symptoms, they're just one piece of the bigger picture. Managing perimenopausal symptoms really does require a multifaceted approach that goes way beyond just diet and supplements. Some other things to make sure that you are including is stress management and regular exercise. If you haven't heard, chronic stress, elevated cortisol levels can make hormonal imbalances far worse, make symptoms like hot flashes, fatigue, even weight gain more intense, harder to manage. So making sure that you are doing things like yoga, you're utilizing meditation, slow breathing, prioritizing your bedtime routine for quality sleep. These can all help regulate your cortisol and support overall hormonal health. Then, of course, we need our exercise. We need our movement. Movement is more than essential for maintaining metabolic health, increasing your energy. It puts you in a good mood. It preserves your bone density through menopause. It can also help you manage your blood sugar, reducing your risk for insulin resistance. So make sure that those are two keys that you are not missing out on in this big picture. And then lastly, since every woman's hormonal landscape is completely unique, functional testing can really provide valuable insight into what's happening underneath the surface and allow us to take a more direct approach to support your body. So tests like the Dutch hormone panel, this gives us a detailed look into estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, other hormone metabolites, which really helps us to fine tune the protocol that we give to you. Again, nutrition, supplementation, all those things. And then the HTMA, so the hair tissue mineral analysis, this is going to identify key mineral imbalances that are likely affecting your energy, thyroid function, your overall hormonal balance, for adrenal health, all of those things that play a role in how you're feeling. And then we would be absolutely silly to miss out on the GI map, the gastrointestinal microbial assay plus. I just did a training on gut health. I have a podcast on it in menopause, but that is such a huge part of addressing your overall health. And so the GI map gives us a deep look into your microbiome. It helps us restore your gut health, improves your digestion, the absorption of nutrients that are used throughout the entire body with a direct impact on all other systems. So those are the main points of phytoestrogens, how you can use them, how to incorporate them into your overall plan. But I have a couple questions that have come up kind of over the years in conversations frequently. And so I want to answer those. So the first one is, how much soy is safe to eat daily? For most women, like I said, who are don't have any existing hypothyroid issues, things like that, aren't taking medication, 1 to 2 servings of whole soy foods like tofu, tempeh, even soy milk per day are technically considered safe and beneficial. Again, ideally opting for organic, cleaner products. But if you want to stay on the conservative side, then sticking to 2 to 3 servings per week would still provide benefits along with, the other estrogens that you're incorporating into your food. If you're concerned due to a specific health condition, then of course, ask your healthcare provider. The next one is about men. So can men eat phytoestrogens without negative effects? Again, yes. Men also have estrogen. It needs to be balanced, and they do not negatively affect testosterone levels in men when they're consumed in moderation. They can support your heart health. They can reduce the risk of certain cancers. This may be something you don't want to necessarily go overboard on, but there is science that suggests that it is largely beneficial. And then how long does it take to actually see changes? What can you expect from adding phytoestrogens to your diet? As always, results can vary, but studies have shown that a lot of women see improvements in their symptoms like hot flashes and mood within 4 to 8 weeks of consistent intake. This could be potentially increased with supplements, but I would give it at least that long in order to start to see some of those changes. But by taking, again, this holistic approach, you are addressing your nutrition, maybe incorporating some more of these, maybe even supplementing with some of these phytoestrogens. You are getting movement in, are, hydrating, you are managing your stress, all of those things. Okay, your perimenopausal journey really can be something that you approach with confidence and navigate with grace, with the right information, hopefully using a lot of what you learned here today, and then taking more from, my previous podcast trainings, things like that. You can take a proactive and a natural route to supporting your hormones. And again, remember, this is about way more than just one food or supplement. It's about creating a lifestyle that works in conjunction with your body. If you're wondering where to start, how to tailor this approach to you, what your next steps need to be, I would love to help you take the guesswork out of it. Our free hormone analysis is designed to give you clarity and personalized guidance so you can really confidently move forward with the next steps. So I will link that in the show notes for you.
If you have any questions, suggestions for future topics, or just want to chat, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at Brooke_Elysian and Facebook linked in the show notes, or via our website, ElysianWomen'sWellness.com. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, we'd be thrilled if you could take a half second to leave us a 5-star review. Not only will you be helping others find our show, but you'll also be entered into our monthly $100 giveaway for no reviews. New episodes drop every Monday, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. Thanks for listening. See you soon.